I'm Trisha Mandis, and thanks for watching this episode of Take Control Tuesdays, where you learn to take control of your diet, your weight, and your health. And today we're going to be talking about my favorite food in the whole world that I eat multiple times a week, no matter what time of year it is, and that is the sweet potato. Now, when you go to the grocery store, sweet potatoes are commonly called yams, even though they're actually sweet potatoes. A true yam has a really thick, furry, almost like barky outside. And we don't see those in the grocery store. So when you do go to the grocery store and you see a yam or a sweet potato, they're both actually sweet potatoes. So I have a few varieties here that I'd like to show you. This is the jewel sweet potato. You can get them in little sizes like this or even larger. Now on the inside of the jewel sweet potato, it is orange. And this is the Hannah sweet potato, white on the inside. Here we have the Garnet sweet potato, which is commonly called the Garnet yam, also orange on the inside. And yesterday I was really excited to see a new variety of sweet potato at the store, and that was a purple sweet potato, which is purple on the inside. Now, I don't have my absolute favorite variety of sweet potato here, but that is the Asian or Japanese sweet potato, which you can find at food co-ops and certain grocery stores. And it is a purple maroon on the outside, but a white, slight yellow on the inside, and it is incredibly sweet. So look out for the Asian sweet potato or Japanese sweet potato. They are delicious. Now, why are sweet potatoes so good for you? Well, the Okinawans of Japan, they are the longest lived population, one of the longest lived populations in the world, and the bulk of their calories every day come from sweet potatoes, as well as beans and cereals and vegetables. They eat a plant-based diet. And sweet potatoes are also low in calories, especially compared to animal foods, which tend to be the bulk of people's diets, especially in the United States. So if you were to eat one large sweet potato, the amount of calories that is in this is 162 calories, but they're incredibly filling, which is really important because the fillingness of the sweet potato is going to cause you to eat a smaller amount of food later, so you'll naturally be eating less calories throughout the day because this is so filling because of all the starch that's in it and the fiber that's in it and the bulk that it has. So you're going to fill up and you're going to feel full and you're not going to want to eat after you eat one of these, but it's lower in calories. In a large sweet potato, there is less than a third gram of fat. So this thing doesn't even have a half a gram of fat in the whole thing, which is awesome if you're trying to reverse heart disease or diabetes. You want to get the fat out of your arteries, the fat out of your cells so the insulin can get through. So they're low in fat, which is awesome. High in fiber, 6 grams of fiber in one sweet potato, but you also have an abundance of vitamins and minerals and nutrients and phytochemicals and antioxidants and disease-fighting properties that are essential if we want to prevent or reverse disease. So there is calcium in a sweet potato. How much calcium do we have in a sweet potato? We have 68 milligrams of calcium in a sweet potato, over 1,700 micrograms of vitamin A, over almost 21,000 micrograms of beta carotene. Cancer kick butt, here we go. Potassium, over 850 milligrams of potassium. And the list goes on and on. So sweet potatoes are a nutrient powerhouse. They have every single amino acid. So they have the protein that we need. They're full of carbohydrates, which is our body's main fuel, our brain's main fuel. So sweet potatoes are so awesomely tasting and good for you, and they're so easy to make, so that's why I love them so much. So on a regular basis, I make sweet potato fries. So I'm going to show you how I make sweet potato fries, which is pretty easy. So all you do is you buy a sweet potato, and then you want to rinse it because a sweet potato is a root vegetable, so it grows in the ground. So it grows in the dirt, so you want to rinse it off when you get it. And then all you're going to do is cut, I'll take the Garnet yam here, you're going to cut the ends off. And then I cut them in little strips, so you're going to cut it in half. And then And then you're just going to cut them in little fry shapes like this. The trick is you want all the shapes to be even, so they cook evenly. So this is what our sweet potato fries are going to look like. And then you're just going to put them on a baking sheet and put them in the oven on a low broil. Cook them for 20 minutes. You can stop and turn them halfway through if you like. If not, they'll just be a tiny bit browner on one side. Or broil them until they are a light brown, and they're going to be soft and they're going to be really sweet. So you could eat the sweet potato fries as a side dish for a veggie burger or a sandwich. As an appetizer, you can dip them in mustard or salsa. A lot of times I will put spices on top, whether it's even like basil tastes really good or ground cinnamon, or my favorite is Cajun spice. So all you do is you sprinkle that right on the potato, the sweet potato, and toss it around a little bit. And there are juices in the sweet potato, so they stick. You can see the spices are still sticking to the sweet potato. So I'm not adding any oil to the potato or to the pan, and they don't stick on the pan either. And the main reason I'm not adding oil is to keep the fat level down, but also because oil is so many calories. It's more calories in a tablespoon of oil than any other food on the planet. So we're trying to keep the calories low so we can maintain a healthy weight and keep the fat low in our bodies as well. So that's why I don't add any oil. There's no cleanup problem. Nothing at all. So I'm going to go make these in the oven, and then I'll show you what it looks like when they're done. But before I do that, I also want to tell you a few other ways you can make sweet potatoes, which is baking them. If you bake them, you of course want to rinse them off, and you need to stab them with a knife or a fork all the way around to help relieve some of the pressure when it's baking. So just stab it, and you're going to bake it at 400 degrees for an hour, or until it's soft enough that a fork goes all the way through it. And the longer you bake them, the softer and sweeter they get. Another thing you can do with sweet potatoes is you can just bake them and keep that as a snack. You could open the sweet potato up and put black bean soup on top of it. I like to put baked sweet potatoes in soup. So sometimes I'll buy a McDougal soup, black bean soup, just to keep on hand. And if I have a sweet potato in the fridge, I'll just cut it up in chunks and warm it up with that in the microwave. You can make sweet potato quesadillas are awesome. You can make sweet potato veggie burgers. The options to make with sweet potatoes are endless. Just mashing them and eating them plain. You could put a little bit of salt, cinnamon, a little bit of maple syrup if you want to jazz it up a little bit. But sweet potatoes are so abundant in flavor that you really don't need to do too much to them at all. So I'm going to go put these in the oven, and then in 20 minutes I will be back and I will show you how beautiful sweet potato fries are fresh out of the oven. So I'm back from the oven, and I've baked all my sweet potatoes here. You can see how beautiful. We have the Hana sweet potato, the Garnet and the Jewel, and then the purple sweet potato, and then I have some salsa up here, and I'm also going to add some mustard and dip them into some mustard. And I just put some basil on the Hana ones, and the other ones I just left plain because they taste so good. And I also wanted to show you the baking sheet, what it looks like, because again, I didn't use any oil. I discourage you from using oil. They don't stick at all. Cleaning this up is going to be a breeze. It's not a problem at all whatsoever. So I'm going to enjoy these sweet potatoes, and I'm going to challenge you to act now. What I want you to do is in the comment section below, please write how you are going to prepare your sweet potato, how you're going to eat it, and your favorite way to eat sweet potatoes. All right, great. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode of Take Control Tuesday. I'll see you next week.